Oh, great. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's live lesson. Lovely to see you here, as always. I'm very excited because spring is on its way. There's a spring in my step. There is fresh air. There's sunshine. There's birds tweeting. It's lovely. And more importantly, I guess related to that, today we've got this interesting topic about leisure activities. So we're going to be looking at the vocabulary, some listening activities. We'll be discovering language. You'll be practicing a bit with me in the chat. And also we'll be doing a review at the end with our famous Kahoot. But to begin, let's have a little bit of this.
It's time. Yo. Yeah, go get your coffee. It's time to join the Keep Speaking Academy. It's time for a live lesson, fun games and idioms. Go get your tea, go get your coffee. It's time to join the Keep Speaking Academy. It's time for a live lesson, fun games and idioms.
Fun games and idioms. Well, hopefully, today we're talking about leisure activities. Now, I know it's well, there are two big problems, I think, for students of English, right? Especially IELTS students. One of them, I have to go this way, don't I? Get into the camera, Keith. One of them is confidence, building up that speaking confidence that you need to do well in IELTS speaking. And the other one is the range of topics. There are so many topics to choose from, right? It can be overwhelming. And so the reason for the live lessons is to help you build the confidence so you can speak confidently on all these different topics. Today, leisure activities. Now, also what I want to do is I want to share with you the method that I'm using in my teaching. Because actually, you can just steal this method. You can take it today and go and use it all the time. It's such a simple method. I'm starting to talk about it more and more because I think it helps students understand what I'm doing. And if you're a teacher, it might be useful as well. So basically, what I'm doing is, in all of my lessons, something that I call the speaking success system. And it's a very, very simple method of just doing discover, practice and review, right? So we discover in our live lesson, in our live lesson, we will be discovering the language through listening activities and analysing the vocabulary. We'll be practicing, well, you'll practice in the chat, but of course, you really need to practice later with your friends and with classmates and maybe online when you're speaking. And then we'll review with a game of Kahoot. So we discover, we practice, we review. And this is what I do in most of my courses, especially my gold course. It's the IELTS Speaking Gold course. The main online course I have follows this system, discover, practice and review. I'm going to tell you more about that at the end of the lesson, but our focus today obviously is on the leisure activities. Just to let you know where the website sits, right? It is on the Keith Speaking Academy. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram a little bit, trying to do more shorts. Got to get with it, right? So Keith Speaking Academy, you can go and check it out later. Oh, if you're on YouTube, by the way, do remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. It's a big help for me. And let me just show you then the website very, very briefly. Keith Speaking Academy website is here. You'll find the free lessons. So actually, one of the ways of reviewing is after the lesson today, you can go on the website later tonight, download the PDF. It's all here. If you go to the free lessons, you can download the PDF, watch the video. This was last lesson, but we will change this and update it so you can get all the information here. There are lots of free lessons if you want them on every topic you can imagine for IELTS. They're all here. You can just click on them and get the free lessons. If you want to find out more about that gold course I mentioned, you can just press the button here, and you'll discover the information about the gold course. If you want to discover other online courses, I've now made them available again here. I'll explain more about these later. And look, there's the gold course down there in the corner. So lots of information there. But we're going to kick off today actually by saying hello. I forgot to say hello. Hey, Hind, you're back. Why are you in the middle of my screen? Let me move you down a little bit. Great. It's so good to see you. I hope you are doing better now. Fang, George, great to see you. Marjo, lovely as always to see you. Abiwa, great, lovely to see you. Abida. Now, where are you guys coming from? Barbie, we've got Novalino from Indonesia. Brilliant. Hey, Miguel from Zaragoza. Lovely to see you. Or Zaragoza, right? Olivia from the Cameroon. Lovely to see you here. Mozen from Iran. Great. Apurva is from Bangladesh. Wow, people from all over the world, right? Pooja, give me some advice. I have my exam on the 12th. What's that, a week? A week away? Gosh, Pooja, if you've got a week... I've got a 1 week study plan on my website. Go and check it out. Go to the footer at the bottom. There are study guides for 1 week. But I would suggest, what can I say? The biggest tip I can give is your mindset is don't be nervous about the exam, but think that you're going to enjoy the exam. Think that whatever happens will happen. The level you have now is the level you will have on the 12th. So just be yourself, be natural, do your best, and just enjoy it, right? It's like going to the dentist. You're like, oh my God, the dentist, I'm going to enjoy it. I love going to the dentist now because I've changed my mindset. So good luck with that. Fatima in Brazil, hello, nice to see you. Mohit as well. Got a lot of people here. Lovely to see you. Ida says, unfortunately, I can't stay until the end. Today is Sista Bida. Oh, right. Interesting. Picnicking outdoors, leisure activity. Very appropriate. Enjoy that. It sounds great. Sanja Beck, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us here today. So we've got so many people, right? We've got India. We've got Vietnam as well. Brilliant. I won't include everybody because otherwise I'll be here all day. But what I'm going to do is explain what the lesson format. So today the lesson will be about an hour to an hour and a half, more or less. Okay. We're talking about leisure activities. What I'm going to do to begin with is that discover activity, right? A listening activity. And through listening, we'll discover the language, the words, the idioms we're going to study today. We'll look at the vocabulary. I'll go through different aspects of the vocabulary to help you learn that. I'll give you a chance to do some practice in the chat. And, you can write it down. You can also speak out and repeat after me. And after that, I always like to do a few idioms. What on earth? Whoops. Oops. What's happening there? No. Help. Yes, what on earth is that? It's an idiom. Well, later on, you'll have a chance to guess the different idioms. And we'll finish with a game of Kahoot. It's a fun game. So make sure that you're staying awake, not falling asleep. You can make notes if you like, but I will be testing you at the end with the game of Kahoot. So that's the plan today. Good. Let's begin by just warming up a little bit. I'd like to know which leisure activities are most popular in your country, right? So in the chat, can you just put the country, your country, and the activity? For example, maybe I might put, I don't know, what might I put? England. A bit like the Iranians today going for a picnic, right? Is quite popular. Especially at this time of the year right? Something like that, right? That could be for me. So I'll give you a moment. In the chat, write down which leisure activities are most popular in your country. Ahmed Taheri, you say, I'm as busy as a bee. Right? Interesting. Let me bring this down. Awesome. Great. Greetings from Greece. Hello, Konstantinos. Interesting. Yep. Remember to put your country. Great. Stay safe, my friend. Niku, interesting. Right. Yeah, I wonder which sport. Tell me more, Lena. Yes. Brazilian football. You're pretty good, aren't you? Movies. Of course, the home of Bollywood. Ping pong. Right, in the Philippines, Barbie. Great. Hiking. Okay. That's interesting. Boxing. How do you do that? Oh, you mean surfing like in the internet? I was thinking surfing on the water. Right. Oh, the food in Qatar. Brilliant. Yep. Yes, London, St. James's Park. Or wherever, whichever one you like. Slovakia, hiking. Okay. Of course, you guys are pretty good at cricket, right? Indeed. Yeah, interesting social media. Okay, so lots and lots of very, very interesting ideas, right? You've got kind of sports, you've got hiking, a lot of people of you said. Hanging out, that's just being with friends. Going out to the restaurant. I mean, you can say going to the restaurant, but often we say going out to the restaurant, or just eating out might be a more natural way of saying it, right? We like eating out. Going to the restaurant. Watching football. Maybe playing football, watching sport, playing sport, watching football with friends. For example, Arthur, you were saying that. Iona from Hungary as well, the same. Nigeria, football. Playing golf is popular in Korea, Jenny. Right. So you've got playing different sports, playing golf. We had, what else? Going outside and drinking coffee. So again, I would say rather than, because this, can I just borrow you for a moment, Anne? Because go outside and drink coffee is perfectly correct. It's fine. But to be a bit more natural, going outside is a bit strange. I think more naturally we would say go out and have a coffee. Go out and have a coffee. We're going out and having a coffee, or going out for a coffee, right? Just make it a bit more natural, what we would normally say. But your grammar is correct, right? It's perfect. Thank you for sharing. That's great. Going to the park was another one we said. Well, you said, not me. Going, you can't see, can you? Going to the park. Right. Watching movies, watching football, watching movies we've had. Okay. So we've got going out, eating out, watching something, playing sports, Remember, sports can be playing golf, playing football, but some sports it's doing, right? Doing what? Doing yoga, doing Pilates is quite popular nowadays. Doing karate. My daughter does Aikido, which is similar to karate. Although probably your karate experts would hate me for saying that, but it's a martial art. So playing golf, football, doing yoga, Pilates, karate. Doing tends to be without a ball. Playing, there's normally a ball. If playing football, playing basketball, playing ping pong was another one. So if there's a ball, usually it's playing. If it's not, if it's just normally a self, there's no ball and it's just yourself, normally it's doing. Not always, but normally. Yeah. Great. A couple of others, somebody had going camping or going camping, we can say. Yep, is a good one. Great. Ali, I love your English. Having a good chinwag with friends outdoor. Great. I'm going to put that in because it's so nice. Having a chinwag. So a chinwag is a very colloquial way of saying a chat. That's your chin, and if you wag your chin, you're having a chat. Having a chinwag with friends. Outdoors. Right, so we'll look at this in a moment, indoor and outdoor activities, but we will have a look at that. There's lots here, right? I'm missing so many, right? But absolutely, mountain climbing, baking, cooking, it's a big one. Yeah. Brilliant, good, very, very nice. I'm curious, I mean, there are some, this one is interesting. Tea drinking, or drinking tea. Yep, I've done a lot of tea drinking in China, and it's absolutely fascinating. I love the ceremony that you sometimes have. Japan judo is a global sport. Jenny, going shopping. Yes, that's a good one. Going shopping. We have another name for that. We call it retail therapy. Retail therapy. You spend money, it makes you feel good, right? Same kind of thing. Layla, thank you so much for your comment. You've changed your avatar. That's nice. That's great. Idle chit-chat is like the chinwag, right? A bit of chinwag, a bit of chit-chat, all the same. Magda, gardening. That's interesting. Of course, if you have a garden, absolutely. Great. We got Portugal, Isabel. Hi, Isabel. Portugal football. Great. Going to the concerts and the galleries. Okay. Brilliant. We've got, there are some walking around parks we've had. Did you know fishing is a good one in the UK? Fishing or angling, as we call it. Right. Let me move on, because we've just brainstormed a few ideas there, right? That's just to warm up. What I'd like to do now is start discovering some language. Do you remember the speaking success system? I'm like a dog with a bone now. Discover. We're going to look at part 1, discover. And we're going to do that through a listening activity, okay? Which means it's time for this. Yo.
Open your ears,
Open your eyes.
It's time for a listening exercise. Maybe a dictation, but without intimidation. Maybe a listening bingo that can open a new window to discover your new listening skills. So listen with me.
So listen with me. Brilliant. Let's do a listening activity. We're going to discover some language. It's actually a listening quiz, okay? So we're going to listen to different people talking about their leisure activities, right? What they do, leisure activities. Leisure is the British pronunciation. I think in America they say leisure, but in Britain we say leisure, like left, right, left, leisure. And the je is a voiced sound. It's a zh. I do that so you can feel the zh. There's a vibration, right? Zh. Le, zh. Le, zh. That's how you remember it. Just go le, zh. Leisure activities. The first person is Alice. So here's my question is, which leisure activity is she talking about? Okay. So I want you to listen very carefully, and then in the chat, you can write your answer. Here we go. First time listening.
I usually do this activity on the weekend. If it's sunny, I like doing it in the park, around dawn time when there's no one around, as, I can get a bit self-conscious. But sometimes I just do it at home. It helps me stretch, breathe, and feel more relaxed. It's quiet, and I do it alone, although I know some people prefer to do it with a group. I enjoy it both indoors and outdoors.
Right. Interesting. Any ideas in the chat? Just let me know what you think. Hi, Happy Life. Nice to see your comments. Any ideas there? What do you think? Which leisure activity is she talking about? Furcam thinks it's yoga. Hamid as well. You do as well. Okay. Jiaming. Same. Okay. Interesting. Amarellis. Put music. I can't put that on the screen. Come on. Okay. Yoga. Yoga. Lifting wet. I think you mean lifting weights. Interesting. Now it's getting interesting. So meditation or Pilates. Pilates. I only know that because my sister does Pilates, so I know how to pronounce it. Andrea, yoga inside and outdoors. Doing yoga. Going to the park. I see. Like yoga in the park. Ibrahim, that's true. Outdoor and indoor. Outdoors and indoors activities. I like the S. Well done. Peter thinks it's walking in the park. Colin says yoga. Yoga or Pilates. Right. Okay. Or it could be, as Jade says, it could be meditation. Let's listen again. I'm not going to give you the answer. I want you to listen again. All right. And try and fill the gap in this phrase. Listen to the phrase and try and fill the missing word. I can get a bit blank. Let's listen again.
I usually do this activity on the weekend. If it's sunny, I like doing it in the park, around dawn time when there's no one around, as, I can get a bit self-conscious. But sometimes I just do it at home. It helps me stretch, breathe, and feel more relaxed. It's quiet, and I do it alone, although I know some people prefer to do it with a group. I enjoy it both indoors and outdoors.
That feeling when you're very aware that people are watching you, right? Like sometimes, I don't know, you're walking down the street and you're wearing some very bright colors and people, and people are like looking at you and you feel a bit embarrassed or maybe a bit shy, then you're self-conscious. You're aware people are looking at you, right? You're a bit self-conscious. So with Alice, she's doing an activity where she thinks people in the park might be looking at. Sorry. I forgot the mute. Excuse me. I'll explain again. Self-conscious is when you're aware people are looking at you. So maybe you're walking down the street with some very bright clothes. People are looking at you and you feel a bit shy, a bit embarrassed. You're self-conscious. You're a bit shy because people might be looking at you. That's the idea, right? She can get a bit of self-conscious because she's doing something in the park, right? Konstantinos, no, she definitely said self-conscious with a sh, as in shh, conscious, self-conscious. Yeah, Andrea, it's very, very difficult to know if it has a hyphen or not. Words with self, not always, actually, no. If it's self-something, it's normally a hyphen. Self-aware, self-conscious, self-esteem, right? If it's an adjective with two words, it's normally a hyphen. But yeah, you have to learn the word. Great. Yee. Lovely to see you. Welcome. I'm excited you're here. Okay. So, a bit self-conscious. Now then, the answer, okay, is Alice does yoga. That was the answer. She does yoga. She does it sometimes in the park, sometimes at home. It's not meditation, and it could be Tai Chi, but it's not. Let's listen again, and you can read the script, and you'll see why it's yoga. Okay, I'll just play it again, and you can follow and read at the same time.
I usually do this activity on the weekend. If it's sunny, I like doing it in the park, around dawn time when there's no one around, as, I can get a bit self-conscious. But sometimes I just do it at home. It helps me stretch, breathe, and feel more relaxed. It's quiet, and I do it alone, although I know some people prefer to do it with a group. I enjoy it both indoors and outdoors.
Okay. So I guess it helps me stretch, breathe, and feel more relaxed. So the stretching, right, is probably yoga. It could be Pilates. It could be Tai Chi. Probably not meditation. But in fact, it is yoga. I know she's talking about yoga. Yes, she does it around dawn time. Dawn is the early morning, right? You've got dawn. So first thing in the morning, as the sun, just before the sun comes up, we call that dawn. And as the sun goes down, just after the sun has gone down, we call that dusk. It's kind of the same time. It's the setting of the sun, dusk. The rising of the sun is dawn. So that's very early in the morning, around dawn time. She goes to the park when there's no one around, right? Because she's a bit shy and embarrassed or self-conscious. Interesting, we have indoors and outdoors. Normally, indoors is in the plural, and indoors activities, outdoors activities. Not always, actually, an indoor activity. I do it indoors and outdoors. You can say both, right? In this case, we'd put it in the plural. Okay, good. That was the first one. So that was Alice doing yoga. We're going to do number 2, a different person, so we can listen to a different accent. This is a guy, and it's a guy called Archie. Question again, which leisure activity is he talking about? Let me take this down. Which leisure activity is he talking about? Right, listen carefully. Here's Archie.
I really enjoy this activity. It's really just about getting together with friends. We sometimes meet up at someone's house or at a cafe, talk for hours, maybe tell a joke or two. Inevitably, someone will have a funny anecdote to share. But my favorite moment is when we get the microphone out and start to blast out our favorite tunes. It's my favorite way to disconnect, and I really feel it does me the world of good.
Wow. He has a very quiet voice and a deep voice. British accent. Archie, What is he talking about? Which leisure activity? Let's see what you think. Maybe. I love your recycling vocabulary. Very good. Hi, Daniela. Karaoke, interesting. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. Listing or listening? I know you're typing so fast there. That's probably it. Let me help you. Rahul Yadav, let me help you. So not listening, but listening to music. Good guess, Ibrahim. Nice one. Maybe it's a mixture. Yeah, you guys, you're there, very, very close. But I'm not going to give you the answer because, again, I'd like you first to listen again. And can you fill in the gap here? So he says, it does me the blank of good. Listen again and try and fill in the gap. This is Archie.
I really enjoy this activity. It's really just about getting together with friend. We sometimes meet up at someone's house or at a cafe, talk for hours, maybe tell a joke or two. Inevitably, someone will have a funny anecdote to share. But my favourite moment is when we get the microphone out and start to blast out our favourite tunes. It's my favourite way to disconnect, and I really feel it does me the world of good.
Any ideas? It does me the blank of good. DW, it's a nice answer. I love that message. Ellie says world. Ashani says world. Word. Oh, Ashani says word. Hind says world. And Hebrahim has got the whole expression. It does me the world of good. Let me share the answer with you. Yeah, it does me the world of good. So when we say it does me the world of good, it means it's very, very good for me, right? It makes me feel very good. It's beneficial for me. Yep. So it makes me feel very good. It's beneficial for me, basically. It does me the world of good. Good. You can use this for anything, right? I like playing football. It does me the world of good. I love doing yoga in the morning. It does me the world of good. I love listening to music and relaxing. It does me the world of good. It's a great expression. You can use it for absolutely anything on this topic. Well, most topics, but especially this one, right? So that was Archie. The activity Archie was talking about. Yes, just checking in with you. Right. It was it's a mixture, but the answer was actually karaoke. I'm trying to spell it right because it's a Japanese word, right? But we've stolen it or borrowed it. Karaoke. Is that the right spelling? Please, those of you in Japan, just confirm with me I've got the right spelling. I'm going to double check. I think it's right. Karaoke. Yes. Okay, good. You never know, right? You've got to be sure. So what we'll do, I'll play it again, and you can read it this time, and you can see what he says. Let me just play it one more time, and you can read.
I really enjoy this activity. It's really just about getting together with friend. We sometimes meet up at someone's house or at a cafe, talk for hours, maybe tell a joke or two. Inevitably, someone will have a funny anecdote to share. But my favourite moment is when we get the microphone out and start to blast out our favourite tunes. It's my favourite way to disconnect, and I really feel it does me the world of good.
Great, good. So getting together with a friend, like coming together, being together. We meet up at a house, at a cafe, talk, maybe tell a joke. So it's kind of chit-chat, chin-wagging, then have a funny anecdote. So an anecdote, in case you don't know, is a short story. Often a funny story. Not always, but usually something quite funny. So the anecdote, you know when you're meeting friends and you go, "Oh, you won't believe what happened to me yesterday. I was walking down the street and suddenly, da, 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 da," and you tell a little story. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes not, but it's an anecdote. Anecdote. It's an anecdote. Anecdote. Stress like on that first syllable, like Saturday. Anecdote. Okay, an anecdote is a short story. But my favourite moment is when we get the microphone out. There's the key, right? The microphone, like this. And then you blast out our favourite tunes. So a tune is a song, right? Basically, or a melody. A song or a melody. And blast out is to play loudly. Right, to play loudly. Blast out the music. Normally with music, we say. Okay. So this is karaoke. Somebody asked, what is karaoke? Karaoke is when you're singing and you have a screen that gives you the words. You have the backing track that you can listen to and you sing on top of the backing track, often very badly. And that's the fun. It's my favourite way to disconnect, and it does me the world of good. Okay, good. So yes, karaoke. Yeah, hopefully that answers the question. So it's, I mean, in some countries, and in London we have karaoke bars now, and I know in China and Japan and many countries you have a bar where you get a room with some friends, get some drinks, and you just have the room to yourself, the screen. You put on the song, the backing track, the words come up, the lyrics come up, and you sing along. Simple as that, right? Could you repeat the word and world? Well, word is shorter, word. World is a earl. There's a l. Your tongue is touching, it touches the top of your mouth. World. It's behind your teeth, right? So you get that sound. It's like the deep L. World. And it's a longer word. World. Very hard to pronounce, I agree. And sometimes difficult to get the sound. Start to blast out our favourite tunes. Brilliant. Good. Exactly. Hello, Slobodonka. Just arrived. Now, we had another comment I was going to bring up. Where was it? Oh, yes, you were just practicing, DW. The long weekend did us the world of good. We really relaxed and recharged our batteries. Perfect. Beautiful English. Wow. Nice. Great. So to blast is to play loudly. Play music loudly. Brilliant. Let me just check any others. Hallie, I have a whale of a time. Yep, to enjoy yourself. Very good. Can you use unwind instead of disconnect? Yes, you can. Absolutely. So let's just bring that in, right? To disconnect then is to unwind, relax. Okay, nice. Very, very good. Arlen says, I enjoy listening and watching Keith's live lesson. It does me the world of good. Very nice. Very good. Decompress. No, not decompress. That's a different meaning. Disconnect, I'll explain later in more detail about disconnect. Arnold, perfect. Exactly it. Exactly it. Okay. I'm going to do one more. What time is it? Oh, gosh. Oh, yes. I've got time for one more. And this is Brian. I've got two more, but I don't know if I've got time. Brian, let's listen to Brian and see which leisure activity is he talking about. Here's Brian.
When I feel stressed or tired from work, I do this to clear my head. I just put on my trainers and start. I don't go too far, just once or twice around the block usually. The fresh air really helps, and I always feel more peaceful afterwards. On top of that, it's a low-budget activity as all you need is a pair of shoes.
Any ideas? I'm going to play it one more time for you.
When I feel stressed or tired from work, I do this to clear my head. I just put on my trainers and start. I don't go too far, just once or twice around the block usually. The fresh air really helps, and I always feel more peaceful afterwards. On top of that, it's a low-budget activity as all you need is a pair of shoes. When I feel stressed or tired from work, I do this to clear my head. I just put on my trainers and start. I don't go too far, just once or twice around the block usually. The fresh air really helps, and I always feel more peaceful afterwards. On top of that, it's a low-budget activity as all you need is a pair of shoes.
I'm sorry, it keeps muting on me. My apologies. I was saying that your English is beautiful. That's what I was saying. And asking you to get the gap. What is the gap here? The gap is, any ideas? Around the, yeah. Hey, Alexander, nice to see you. And Julia. I hope you're okay, Julia. Block, yes, but block spelt like this. Around the block. There we go. Around the block. So around the block. So the block comes from an Americanism that the American cities are, the streets are all parallel and like this. And going round a square is going around the block. In English, basically walking around your neighborhood is going around the block. The idea is you're walking in a square. You're going across, down, round. That's a block, right? But you can generally say, I'm going to walk around the block. I'm just going to walk locally around my neighborhood. Walk around the block. Yes, around the neighborhood, basically. So walk around the block is to take a short walk around the neighborhood. I mean, or literally the block. If your streets are in blocks, like squares, then it is literally a block, right? Around the block. The activity, well, let's listen again and you can read it and then we'll decide what the activity is. Here we go. Brian.
When I feel stressed or tired from work, I do this to clear my head. I just put on my trainers and start. I don't go too far, just once or twice around the block usually. The fresh air really helps, and I always feel more peaceful afterwards. On top of that, it's a low-budget activity as all you need is a pair of shoes.
Okay, so actually the answer was walking. It could have been jogging, strolling. Trainers are sports shoes, jogging shoes, running shoes, right? In English, I know in different countries they have different words for running shoes, like pumps or jogging shoes. But in England, a trainer, right, is a running shoe or a walking shoe. Special shoes for sport, let's say. Okay, great. That was Brian. Yeah, May, this is a very interesting one. Hey, man, just meet us in the block. Now, you mean in the neighborhood, but because the block is actually a square, you couldn't say in the block. Hey, man, just meet us around the block. Meet us on the block. You could say around or on. For some reason, you wouldn't say in the block, but let's meet around the block, or let's meet on the block. You could say that, right? Nice. Tired from work. Yes, what did I say here? Or tired from work. I feel stressed or tired from work. Yes, because of work. Exactly. Pair of shoes. Yes. It's not Snickers, sneakers. That's the other word. A Snicker is a chocolate bar, right? But what you mean is sneakers. I think in America, they say sneakers. Yes, absolutely. Low budget, I'm going to explain in a moment, Isabel. It's a great question. Let me come back in a moment and explain low budget. It means cheap, but I'll explain shortly. I'm going to do one more. I want to do one more because I remember the quiz at the end includes Glenda. Here's Glenda. Let's find out which leisure activity she is talking about.
This is something I picked up from my grandmother. It's a quiet activity, and I usually do it in the evening while listening to music or watching TV. Some days, I can just while away the hours doing it, as it's a very time-consuming activity, but one I love. Sure, you need focus and patience, but it helps me concentrate. I make scarves and sometimes give them to friends.
Wow. What's Glenda's leisure activity? As you're writing, let me play one more time for you.
This is something I picked up from my grandmother. It's a quiet activity, and I usually do it in the evening while listening to music or watching TV. Some days, I can just while away the hours doing it, as it's a very time-consuming activity, but one I love. Sure, you need focus and patience, but it helps me concentrate. I make scarves and sometimes give them to friends.
Reading, although she does it listening to music and watching TV. Right, but she does the activity whilst listening to music and watching TV. Yeah. Crochet. Interesting. Let me help you on the spelling, because it is a strange word. It's one that we borrowed from French, I think. Interesting. Could be yoga, possibly, but I think you guys are a lot closer here. Before I give you the answer, try and listen again, and don't fill in the gap. I've done it for you. Duh. Oh, that's funny. Fill in the gap. But Keith, you've done it for us to while away the hours. I tell you what, instead of filling in the gap, let's read it and listen to it one final time. Look, I've done it back to front. That is so funny. Never mind. Here we go. One time. Last time.
This is something I picked up from my grandmother. It's a quiet activity, and I usually do it in the evening while listening to music or watching TV. Some days, I can just while away the hours doing it, as it's a very time-consuming activity, but one I love. Sure, you need focus and patience, but it helps me concentrate. I make scarves and sometimes give them to friends.
Yeah, Jenny, be careful. Not scars, but scarves. There's a V there. Scar is a cut, right? But this is scarves that you put around your neck. Scarves. So I think a lot of you have got that from the scarves, making scarves. Notice the plural with a V. So it could be crochet or weaving, but probably the answer actually, right, is knitting. Knitting was the actual answer. And in case any of you don't know knitting, some of you, probably most of you know, but just in case. So this is knitting. You've got some wool. You've got the knitting needle. And with the knitting needle, you stitch, cross stitch, and you knit. You can knit a scarf. How to knit. You can knit anything, right? Well, not anything, but knitting a scarf. Sewing is a bit different. Sewing is with a very, very thin thread, and sewing is more for the very, very small line. You'll sew the line or you'll sew a button, but knitting is the thick wool for a jumper or a scarf. Similar action, actually, but different material. Yes. Okay. So, something I picked up. To pick up from somebody is to learn from somebody. It's quiet. Do it in the evening while listening to. So it's at the same time. I can just while away the hours. To while away the hours is to spend a long time without realizing it. So you spend a long time doing something without realizing it. I can while away the hours teaching English. I know, it's a bit geeky, but I can while away the hours reading a book. You can while away the hours scrolling. That's quite funny. It's a notice from Burns. Your sound was muted. That's great. Thanks, Burns. I hope I've got it. It keeps jumping. So while I can while away the hours scrolling on Facebook. I while away the hours playing the guitar. So think about it. You can use this for any leisure activity. I while away the hours. You can change the hours to the day, the afternoon, the evening. I while away the evening watching TV. Okay, really flexible, nice expression to know, to while away the hours. It is idiomatic, so you can while away the days or the evening. Shall I just make a note of that? Yes, it might help you. The days, the hours. You can say evenings if it's on a repeated basis, like a habit. So every evening, I while away the evenings watching TV. If it's just one evening, then it's singular. But if it's a habit, it's plural, right? I just while away the evenings doing something. It's a really nice expression. So while away the hours is an idiom. Yes, it is. It is, exactly. Yes. new word, which is knitting. Knitting, yeah, it's a great word, right? The K is silent. So to knit is the verb, knitting is the activity. Great. Andrea says, I can while away the hours swimming in the beach. Very, very nice. Lovely. Let me help you a little bit. Just be careful, it's while away with an A. And normally we wouldn't say in the beach, but you're on the beach, right? You're on the sand, on the beach. In the sea, but on the beach. So you can while away the hours swimming in the sea or on the beach is fine, yes. Daniela says, I while away the hours listening to your recorded lessons. Oh, that's great. That's why your English is getting so good, Daniela. Knitting is a kind of addiction. Really? I don't know. I've never knitted. Mom says, I while away the afternoon cooking different dishes. Jenny, also, I while away the hours taking Keith's classes. Great English. Great. While away the years. It's a bit strange because without realizing it, I think it's not really possible to do something for years without realizing it. Jade, I mean, I can spend hours without realizing it, right? Look at TikTok. My God, I'm on TikTok 3 hours later. What happened? But years, not really. It's a great question. I love how you're thinking, but probably not. No, probably not. While away the years. Unless you're being metaphorical, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Some nice practice there. Great. Yep. Exactly. Yes. Lovely. Let me just help you with your spelling. Right. The binge watching with a J. Binge watching. Okay. Right. Excellent. Good. Let's take a break. I say take a break. Well, yes, let's take a break because we've been doing, how do we take a break? I'm online. I can't take a break. Coffee, everybody. Stay with me. Let's move on to the next activity because we've been doing the listening activity. I want to break down a little bit of the vocabulary. We've looked at a lot of it, but there's a few, I think, useful things to note on the vocabulary. Let's look together at some key words that will help you from the listening and connected to this. Okay. So expressing likes. Do we say, I like doing yoga or I like to do yoga? Oh, which one do we say? What do you think, guys? What do you think? Am I allowed to stretch? Can, yes. You can use could as well. Just put your, yeah. In the past, could, you could absolutely, yes. Vlogs for fun. Konstantinos, you are a star. Excellent. Well done, my friend. So the answer is both are correct. Yeah, both are correct. We can use both. There is a very, very, very small difference, but most of the time you can use both. The very, very small difference, if you're interested, is that I like doing yoga the focus is on the action or the experience. Kind of the feeling when you're doing yoga. It's the action of doing yoga. I like doing yoga in the park. I like doing yoga at home. I like doing yoga because it does me the world of good. Kind of focus on the action or the experience. Okay. If we say, I like to do yoga, the focus is more on a preference or a habit. So you might say, I like to do yoga every Thursday. It'd be strange to say, I like doing yoga every Thursday. It's a bit strange because every Thursday it's suggesting a habit or a preference. We'd normally say to do. I like to do yoga every Thursday. I like to do yoga first thing in the morning. Now, it's not wrong to say I like doing yoga first thing in the morning, but the image is on the activity. And if I say I like to do yoga, the image straight away is habit. You're probably talking about a habit. I like to go walking. I like to go or I like to walk in the morning, first thing. It's expressing a habit for me. So both of them are correct. It's just a different image in the head. To do, that habit. Doing, the action or the experience. It's a really small difference. Don't worry too much about it, but just to know that difference is useful, right? For example, I like doing yoga after work. The focus is on the action of doing yoga. So when you say that, I can see you in my head doing yoga. I like to do yoga once a week. The focus is the habit. It's once a week. I like doing it in the park around dawn time when there's no one around. That was Alice. Do you remember Alice? I like doing it in the park. Her focus is on the experience. She's talking about it, people watching her, that experience. She's not focusing on the habit, right? They're very, very similar, but can you see there's a very small difference, right? Lily says, I like to do something is a habit. That's right. Exactly. Good. Nice. Expert examiner, IELTS. Wow, like it. I like to clean my house every week. I have no enjoyment or pleasure, but this is my preferred habit. Exactly. Nice. Very good. Thank you for that. That's great. What else have we got? I love to do yoga. Love to do and love doing, it's the same idea, right? Love doing is the action. I love to do it is a habit or a preference. It's the same idea. Yeah. Nice. DW, you continue to impress me. I like cooking. Focus on the action, right? And the feeling. I love to cook for my friends on the weekends. That's your habit or preference. You should be up here with me, my friend. That is great. Okay. Duong has a habit or a preference. You like to do homework while watching TV. I wonder if your parents agree with that preference. Or I don't know how old you are, actually. I don't know. Helen says, I like to do Pilates on Thursday. Great. Just be careful with your spelling, right? Thursday. Naunika, I like drinking coffee. I like to drink coffee alone. Great. Really good. You've got it. That's perfect. Okay, nice. Let's come back. That was the first thing. The other word, stretch. So we saw Alice talked about stretching, right? To stretch. It's just one syllable, stretch, with a ch sound. Ch, stretch. To stretch is to extend your body. You can stretch your arms, stretch your legs, stretch your neck, right? Lots of stretching in Pilates, yoga, etc. For example, she yawned and stretched her arms. Stretched her arms. So notice stretch, when it goes in the past, stretched, the d is very quiet, but here it links. Stretched her arms. It could link. She stretched her arms. It helps me stretch, breathe, and feel more relaxed. That was Alice at the beginning, remember? It helps me stretch. There's an interesting phrase, I'm going to stretch my legs. It can have two meanings. It can mean physically stretch your legs in front of the TV, but it can also mean to take a break. If you're in a meeting and the meeting is a long time, you can say, right, you've got 2 minutes to stretch your legs. Maybe in this class, I could say, listen, guys, I'm going to stretch my legs for 2 minutes. And it's literally just having a break to stretch your legs. So it can have that meaning also. It can be idiomatic, if you like, idiomatic expression. To have a break. To have a break from a long activity. Typically a meeting, it's a common expression in meetings or a class. I'm going to stretch my legs, I'm going to have a break. Similar words are to straighten. So for the literal, not for idiomatic, but for the literal meaning, to stretch, to extend your body, you could say to straighten your back, straighten your neck, to straighten out. You can also say straighten your arms. Okay. Lily, good idea. Have 2 minutes to stretch your legs. Kiara, totally agree. Stretch your legs and arms after an hour of sitting. Hind, I do some stretching. That's great. I do some stretching is really good. Like warming up. So you can do some stretching as well. I like that. Let me add that as well, because that's kind of a collocation, right? To do some stretching. Which is kind of, warming up for an activity. Kind of, not exactly, but great. Love it. Nice. Hadi, that's great. I like to wriggle around. So to wriggle around is like to move like a worm. Very, very good. We can stretch our vocabulary. Yes, you can. So that's a same idea, but used in a different context. Yes. I always stretch my legs when I sit too long. Excellent. Very, very good. Nice. Well done, guys. Good practice. Stretch. We've got disconnect. Do you remember? What was the bloke's name? I've forgotten his name. It was Brian, or was it Archie? One of the blokes. Sorry, men. One of the men said to disconnect. It's my favourite way to disconnect. It can mean to relax. So disconnect actually means to switch off. So disconnect the microphone. Right? If I literally unplug, I disconnect the microphone. I've got a different microphone. Don't worry. Connect, disconnect. So it's to switch off, but idiomatically, it means to relax. So again, I should emphasize that's an idiomatic meaning to relax. Similar words to switch off. So also idiomatically, to switch off. Switch off is like relax, but it's not the same as relax. To switch off is when you stop focusing. It can also mean to relax, right? I mean, after the class, I'm going to switch off. Just go and have lunch and switch off. Or after the class, I'm going to unwind with my lunch. I'm going to take it easy and watch TV. I'm going to chill and have some lunch. So all of these are nice ways of saying relax or disconnect. And they are all idiomatic, actually, right? Because it's not literally unwinding. And to chill is not literally going cold. So they are actually idiomatic expressions. Not idioms like over the moon, but idiomatic expression. So these are also very good, right? Which you need. Okay, let me see how we're doing. Jesse says, I disconnect the telly after watching. That's right. Christina, nice to see you. I'm not going to disconnect with you. Great. Thank you. Stay focused with me. Lily, I agree. Listening to music is a great way to disconnect. Layla, thank you so much. I can see your messages. Those are really, really kind. Thank you. It's time to wind down after a bit one way or another. To wind down. That's great. Let me add that. To wind down. Very similar meaning. Lovely. I love how you're contributing. Daniela, if you are knackered, you have to switch off. I laugh because knackered is quite a strong word in England. It's great. It's not. It's good, right? To be tired. It's just very, very colloquial. I was surprised that you said it. It's great to be tired. Yeah, nice. Great. Before going to bed, I switch off. Good. How? How do you switch off? English teacher tapas. I like reciting poems to disconnect. Good, good. Okay. Layla says, chill out, let your hair down, recharge your batteries. Great. All of these similar words. Put your feet up. You are the idiom kings and queens. Let me do the one more word, I think, which is this one. Low budget. Oh, there's two more words. Low budget means a small amount of money. It involves a small amount of money. It's cheap. It's not expensive. It was Brian who said it's a low budget activity as all you need is a pair of shoes. So low budget involves little money. Basically cheap, right? Talking about hyphens, because it's two words, low budget. As an adjective, it'll always have a hyphen, right? Because it's an adjective. Low budget activity, because it's an adjective. Low budget. Similar words, affordable, right? It's an affordable activity, or inexpensive. Antonyms, that's the opposite. You could say pricey or costly. It's a costly activity. It's a pricey activity. The shoes are pricey. No, the shoes are cheap. Special equipment like skiing equipment is pricey or costly. Okay. Good. I love all your expressions there. Low budget. We talk about low budget activity. Did I write this? No. Low budget activity. A low budget holiday. Low budget holiday, low budget activity, low budget what? I think that's it. If you think of any more, let me know. Yes, I totally agree. Buying a house is very pricey. Yes. Rashid, this is a really good example, right? Come back. Where are you? I want to buy a phone, but my low budget, 2 words, is the reason I can't. That is perfect. It's different from this, which is 1 word as an adjective. Yours is correct. Budget is the noun, low is the adjective. So it's also correct, right? Attending online courses is a low budget activity. Good. Very, very good. Nice. Yeah, budget is also the amount of money. So you can say, my favorite basketball team has a bigger budget this year. That's great. Yes. Yeah, without breaking the bank. Nice. I like that. Let me add that in. Without breaking the bank. Not too expensive. It's affordable. That's a lovely expression, Nancy. Thank you. Shirley says, I want to buy a low-budget skincare product. Yep. So in this case, as an adjective, let's put it as a hyphen. Yeah. Great. Okay. Low budget, it means cheap, more or less. Yes. It's a low budget thing. Not really. No. So don't say it's a cheap phone. It's a low budget phone. Not really. It's a low budget phone. Normally it's an activity that's low budget, not a thing normally. I would say just cheap, inexpensive. Yeah. Good question. Okay. Budget has lots of different uses there that I can see in your examples. But I'm going to move on to our last word, which is time consuming. I think it was Glenda who said it's a very time consuming activity, but one I love. Time consuming, as you can see, to consume is to use or eat or take up. So something that takes up a lot of time. Time consuming, we can say time consuming job, time consuming process, time consuming task. Notice the hyphen because it's an adjective. Learning English is a time consuming hobby or a time consuming process. Yes, time consuming. Nice. Low budget traveling. Yes, you can say, Lily. Yes. Okay. Good. Time consuming. Let me just put this on just to have a drink. Good. Nice. Yes. I agree. And I'll just help you, Duang, because we always say it's worth it. Put it on the end, right? It's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. So we've been looking at vocabulary, and the listening and the vocabulary, if you can remember, is part of the Discover. Do you remember the speaking success system? Discover, practice, review. So Discover, through listening, looking at vocabulary, we're discovering the language. You guys are practicing a lot, which is really good. So you're discovering, you're practicing. It's actually very, very easy, right? It's such a simple method to follow. When you're discovering language and you're doing this on your own, I mean, I do this in French, right? Let me show you. So I'm still studying French. So I write down very badly, but in my notebook, yeah, I'm old-fashioned. After my class, I write down the key words and I make a note. When you're doing this, you're discovering language, I suggest that you write down the word. Make sure you write down the form. Is it an adjective, a verb, or a noun? Definition and an example. And always focus on your collocations, right? Time-consuming activity. It's much better to learn collocations. Just 1 or 2 is enough, right? Sometimes put down similar words. You could say synonym, but very often there's a small difference. So making a note of 1 or 2 similar words or opposite words, it's really useful, okay? Now, you won't do that all the time for every word, right? Because it's just too much. I do it because I'm teaching. But when you're doing it, maybe you just have 1 synonym or 1 collocation. That is fine. But as you're discovering language, do this in your notes because it will really, really, really help, okay? Simple, simple, simple. Let's carry on discovering because we've still got to discover some idioms.
I want some idioms. I want them now. I want some idioms, but I don't know how to learn them, how to remember them. All I know, I really think so, is that I want some idioms now. How to learn them, how to remember them. All I know, and I really think so.
Feel free to stretch your legs. Karaoke.
All I know, and I really think so, is that I want some idioms now.
Mugabiti, thank you for your suggestion. Nice. Okay, idioms. There we go. Let's have a look at some idioms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you. Love this microphone. What I'm going to do is share a picture. Can you guess the idiom, right? I think we've got 3 idioms. So here's the first one. Just in the chat, can you guess what this idiom is? Put your guesses in the chat. Aisha, thank you for that comment. I love it. It's quite difficult. There are 5 things you need to look at. There's a bee, but there's also, what, water, fire, earth and wind, right, Arthur? You're on the right track. Good guess, Magda. That's a great idiom, but not this one. Interesting. The fire, the water, the earth, they're all different elements, right? They're all different elements. That's a clue. Oh, we got to the end. We got to the end. Okay. Not easy. Not easy. There are different elements. And you can see, I'll show you the answer. And you'll be like, what? Here's the answer. So number 1 is to be in your element, right? If you look carefully, the be is in the elements. Earth, water, fire, they're all elements. To be in your element is to feel very comfortable and happy doing something you enjoy. For example, I'm in my element when I'm painting. It's so relaxing. I'm in my element when da 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 da. So again, you can use this with any, let's take that off. You can use this with any leisure activity. You can just say, I'm in my element when I do yoga. I'm in my element when I'm cooking in the kitchen. I'm in my element when I'm teaching. I'm not in my element when I'm dancing. I'm terrible at dancing. I'm not in my element. And I'm not in my element when I'm singing karaoke. Okay. So you can use that very simple idiom to talk about any of your leisure activities. And notice you can use it in the negative if it's not true. I'm not in my element when da, 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 da. But not out of my element. Right. You wouldn't say out of my element. You would say I'm not in my element. Only because it's idiomatic, right? Element, well, it means not exactly zone, to be in your zone. The element literally is earth, wind, fire. So if you're comfortable in different elements, if you're comfortable with the soil, with the fire, with the water, then it's that meaning. It's an unusual idiom, but nice one. Shirley, great example. Yes. Constantinos, it was my idea, the sketch. Yes, I'm in my element when I see your lectures. Yes, it's very much the idea doing something. So I would say I'm in my element because when I see your lectures is yes. I would change it slightly. I would only to emphasize the action, because seeing sounds a bit passive, and I think it's better to say I'm in my element when I'm studying with your lectures, because you have to be doing something, right? But great, Rakibal, thank you for that. Great. I'm in my element when I'm working in the hotel, right? Assuming that's your job, I guess. Great. I'm in my element when I look at my children sleeping. Yes. Again, this is a bit like the last one. I think it's okay, but looking at, is that doing? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we can say that. Yes. Rashid, great. I'm in my element when I'm doing my meditation. Great. Okay. So make sure it's very much active doing. So Lily, the same example. I'm in my element when I'm learning with your streaming. That would be better, right? I'm in my element when I'm taking pictures. Great, brilliant, very, very nice, love it. Some very good examples. Are you ready for number 2 idiom? Number 2 is here. Try this. Might be easier. Remember, we're talking about leisure time. Some great ideas. Whoa, there we have it. Okay, downtime. That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, downtime. Downtime is time when you're not working and can relax, right? Downtime. Now, I'm just going to double check because I'm pretty sure it's 2 words, But when Jenny put 1, I'm just going to double check because you might be right. Downtime. Yeah, it should be 1 word. You're absolutely right. Downtime. This is what I do. I go into Google, double check. I can see it here. And one of my favorite dictionaries, Cambridge, has got it as 1 word. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to change. Listen to Jenny. Jenny's always right. Downtime. Downtime then is time when you're not working and can relax. I use my downtime to catch up on reading or watch a series. Watch a TV series, right? So I have downtime. I have some downtime at the weekend, which I like to spend with my family. So that's probably weekends because it's a habit, right? Which I like to habit. I have some downtime at the weekends, which I like to spend with my family. So a lot of your ideas were good idioms, right? Round the clock, to be open 24 hours is good. Have a break is good. To be on time, these are all good idioms. Right on time, good idiom. Working overtime is a good idiom. It's a different one from this one. Similar idioms to downtime might be me time, having some me time. That's very colloquial, but it just means time for myself. I spend a lot of time with the family. It's good to have some me time, downtime, right? Okay, nice. Enas says, I have some downtime after I finish my exams at high school. Good for you. You should disconnect and do some karaoke or something. VD says, I use my downtime taking care of my garden. Interesting. That's a nice leisure activity, right? And Daniela will spend her downtime cooking new recipes. Lovely. Very, very good. Excellent. I'm going to move briefly, not briefly. I'm going to move swiftly. Oh, I've got so many buttons to press. Number 3, idiom number 3, last one. Here we go. Not easy, this one. What's the difference? Think about the stage or the scene. Okay, Claudia, you're kind of on the right lines. Nice expression, Patricia. Background, or what about scene? Oh, you're almost there. Sultanov, you are so close. Oh. Right. I'm going to stop us there. We haven't quite got it, but we're close. A change of scene, right? You've got 2 scenes, and we had one scene changing for another. A change of scene just means going somewhere different to refresh your mind or break the routine. If you're always doing the same thing, you need a change of scene. Notice a change of becomes a change of. A change of scene. A change of scene. It's like we almost swallow the of, just of change of. A change of scene. For example, we went to the countryside for a change of scene, and it really helped me relax. A change of scene, right? Okay, so a change of scene. No a, no the, just a change of scene. Brilliant. Good. So what? So what? Let me take that one off. Can you see that? The change of scene. Excellent. Good. Listen, we've seen 3 idioms there. Let me just go back. We've got to be in your element, when you're comfortable doing something. Downtime, when you're not working, you can relax. And a change of scene, going somewhere for a different break. Now you can see with all of these, what we've been doing today is we've been listening, vocabulary, idioms. We've been doing that, what I call basically the speaking success system, right? We've been doing that discover, practicing. We've discovered the language. You've practiced, and look, you're still practicing, which is great. I can see in the chat, practicing and getting a bit of feedback from me. The last thing we need to do is review. And there are many ways that we review. We can review with, well, all sorts of ways. You can review with a PDF. We're going to review with Kahoot, which is our last activity today. Okay. So from idioms to Kahoot. If you don't know Kahoot, it's a game where I give you 4 questions. You have multiple choice answers. You can choose A, B, C, or D, different colors. You've got 30 seconds to answer, and you have to go to the website to do it. So come with me and let's set it up, the Kahoot for today. Where are we? Kahoot. I've got to log in. Keep practicing because I can see some of your ideas coming up. Here we go. Leisure activities. After working too much hours, I want a change of scene. Yes, nice. After working too many hours, I want a change of scene. Very, very good. Sometimes a change of scene at the beach is a great unwind. Yeah, a great way to unwind. Now then, where are we? Oh. Come with me. We're going to start a new game. Let me bring this across. We're going to go in classic mode. What you need to do is to go to kahoot.it, or if you've got a phone, of course you've got a phone, you can download the app. There's a Kahoot app, and you can do it there. And put in your name. You need the PIN, which is 1333297. One, 3297. I'll just give you a moment to get in. And as you're doing that, we'll share some of these. A change of scene helps me to disconnect. Yeah, good. Go to the beach is a brilliant way to change the scene if you are stressed. It's a great way to have a change of scene. Yes. I would say to have a change of scene. Great, Rashid. Yep. Going to the beach is a great way to have a change of scene. Right, you're joining. You're getting in there. Let me just move this up a little bit. I'll just give you a few seconds to join. Okay, I think we're about ready to go. Let's do it. Okay, question number 1. Which is the odd one out? Which is different? Disconnect, unwind, switch on, take it easy. So which one is different? Disconnect, unwind, switch on, or take it easy. If you didn't get into Kahoot, you can write your answer in the chat as well. Let's see. Oh, very good. Majority of you got it right, was to switch. So switch on is the opposite. Disconnect means to relax. Unwind, to relax. Take it easy, to relax. So disconnect, unwind, and take it easy are all the same, meaning here, switch on is the opposite. Switch off, switch on. Okay, well done. We got 17 right. Let's see who is leading. Niti is in the lead. Brian the Brick, well done. You're in second. Adri is in third place. Next question. I like to while blank the hours scrolling TikTok. On, after, out, away. I like to while blank the hours scrolling TikTok. While on, while after, while out, or while away. What do you think? Wow, nice. While away. The vast majority, you got it right. To while away the hours is to spend time doing stuff without realizing it's gone so quickly, right? To while away the hours. Great expression. Let's check the board. Oh, Niti, what happened? You disappeared. You fell off like diving into the sea. Brian the Brick was first. Now Adri is coming to second, and Elements has made it into third place. Me time, I wanna, you're there. Let's go on to question number 3. When I'm playing football, I feel in my blank. Water, fire, element, flow. When I'm playing football, I feel in my water, fire, element, or flow. What do you think, guys? Remember that picture with the bee? Oh, that's great. Nice. Feel in my element, right? So when you're doing an activity that you feel comfortable with and very happy, you're in your element, right? I feel in my element. Let's check. Oh, nothing has changed. Wow, that's unusual. Brian is still at the top. Up 9 places. Leah, you're the highest climber. Right, next question. The last question. I'm hoping to get some blank time tomorrow to relax. Up, down, in, away. I'm hoping to get some blank time tomorrow to relax. Up, down, in, or away. Yay, downtime. I do remember it's one word, but there you've got it absolutely right. Getting some downtime is time away from work. Time not working but relaxing. It's time for that most exciting moment. Who's on the podium? Third place. Elements, well done. Adri, you got second, well done. Is it? Brian the Brick. Congratulations. You did very, very well. Nice. Brian made it to the very, very top. Well done, Brian. Excellent. Oh, look. Very, very nice. We can claim rewards. Let's find out. What? 30% solid effort. Okay, 30% is not bad. Trivia? What's going on? Oh, this is awesome. Classic arcade. Achievement completed. Oh, guys, we can compete with other islands. The League's Arena. Okay. More of that next time. Island level 3. Oh, that is so funny. That is great. Brilliant. Well, we've been through a lot today together. We've been looking at leisure activities. We've been doing a listening activity to discover some interesting vocabulary. We analysed the vocabulary. Remember when you're making notes to write down the form, the example, maybe a collocation or two. We've looked at idioms like to be in your element. I'm in my element when I'm what? When I'm teaching, maybe. I'm in my element when I'm playing guitar, all of those. And we've finished up on Kahoot. Basically, what we've done, right, is we've been following that speaking success system, discovering language, practicing it together, and reviewing it. Of course, you need to practice more on your own and review more as well. But you can take this really simple system and just follow it when you're studying. To review more, one thing you can do is come over to the IELTS Speaking website if you want to review. So this is it's the Keith Speaking Academy. If you go to the free live lessons, later today, not now, but give us maybe 3 or 4 hours. We'll organize the PDF. We'll put it here and you can watch it here. You can download that. And downloading the PDF or watching the video again is a great way to review. So that's it. It's the speaking success system. Discover, practice and review. Now, I know that we've done a live lesson today. The next live lesson is going to be in 1 month's time. It's going to be at the start of May. In the meantime, carry on studying. Some of you may be looking for more materials and more help and more support. And if you are, I've got different courses that can help. I'm going to explain one of the courses, which is called the Gold course. IELTS Speaking Gold. It's aimed at IELTS students, but a lot of students are actually not doing IELTS. They just want to develop their speaking skills so they can become a confident speaker. And that's the idea, because in the Gold course, we have more live lessons. Actually, we have one next week. And if you want to come and join the Gold course, you can through the website. I'll show you on our website over here. If you go to the homepage, you can actually either press here, the Gold course, or the online courses on the top here. The online courses will show you, we've got a vocabulary course, which is reviewing the live lessons, again, with the speaking success system. Focus on grammar. So if you're weak on vocab or on grammar or idioms, there's a course. There's a free course. And then the Gold course is a combination of exam strategy, self-study, and interaction. And actually, this is the Gold course. If you click on the one here at the bottom, that will take you to the Gold course. It's 3 courses in one, actually. And it combines... It combines the self-study course, where you get to discover language through model answers, exam strategy to improve your technique, and then the interaction. And the interaction is the 2 live lessons a month. We've got one next week. The speaking practice rooms every day. You can practice speaking to other students, and we have a private community. There's a live lesson library. There are over 60 previous live lessons, all the latest IELTS topics, a great way to review. And here are the prices. The gold course is normally $197. It's now $157. If you just want the self-study or exam strategy, you can buy those separately. There is a 2-month payment plan. If you want to pay over 2 months, you can. But that is there. It's on the website. If you're looking for more support in discovering language and in practicing daily speaking practice rooms with other students, and then you can review. And we review in many fun ways. We review with the PDFs, with the live lesson recordings, with Zoom meetings. We have 2 Zoom meetings a month where we get together and practice and review. We also have the mini novel, Watchful Eyes, great, which is somewhere over here. I've lost it. There's the course book we have, which is there to review. There's the mini novel, which is also part of the course. It's basically each unit we're reviewing the language with this novel and this story. So that's it. It's there on the website. If you're interested and you want more support, you can join us for our next gold live lesson next week. Great. Good. Next one is, when is our next live lesson on YouTube? Our next live lesson on YouTube is the 1st of May. That will be the next YouTube public live lesson. If you want more live lessons, come and join the gold course. That's my advert for you. Okay, great. I'm going to finish up here. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Let me turn off the... it's this, isn't it? I was trying to find the music. It's from the Kahoot. I was wondering where the music was coming from. Awesome. I'm going to say goodbye and leave you with a bit of music. It's from one of the songs on the gold course. I'll put it in the background. It's quite loud. Sorry. Here we go. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.
An envelope inside. Emily asked, will you open it tonight?
Thanks for joining.
Made a farewell soon. Emily planning beneath the moon.
Thank you, Enas.
I got the job from Manchester.
It's lifetime access for the exam strategy and self-study, and the live lessons and speaking rooms is 1 year access. But that should be plenty for you to get ready. Thank you. Hey, Christine, see you soon.
When Emily arrived, the sun shone bright.
Bye-bye, Barbie.
They dined in colors, a vibrant sight. Yet Tom
Great.
seemed tired, something amiss. A friendly face, maybe a
My pleasure, Leah.
kiss. I got the job from Manchester to DC.
So kind, Leila. Congrats, Brian.
Finally could flee.
2 a month, Lily.
Watchful eyes. Watchful eyes.
All the details in the link Burns has put there.
Changes in routine. Emily's heart
Thank you.
sensed something unseen. New York flight secrets untold.
I have to fly to England tomorrow. That's why. Very short trip. See you, Isabel. As I had. See you guys next week, all of you on the Gold Course. See you next Thursday. Brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. All the best now. Bye-bye.